First of all, Tex, you came back to Adelaide and how's the sport?
Yeah, it's good, mate. Yeah, just a bit of precautionary, trying to get a bit of load off it. So all good, mate. I was never in doubt.
What's wrong with it?
Just a bit sore, so just trying to get a bit of weight off it early in the week. And we got our main session today, so I'll do the full session. Can't tell you that.
Will it affect the kicking at all in Showdown?
Hope not. Nah, it won't affect me at all, mate. I'm 100%.
Is that just a bit of
I've had a bit of a sore foot for over a month or so now, and Eddie has probably the hardest, Bogey would probably agree here, the hardest decking that we'd play on, so it probably didn't help, but yeah, it's fine now, all good. Well, we've done a lot of work over pre-season, as I reckon most teams are. You've seen, I think there was 9 teams on the weekend that scored over 100 points, so it's definitely an area that you can get an advantage over other teams.
Oh, it was pretty positive, the review. I mean, we knew St Kilda were going to come out and bring the pressure, which they had last year, and they're a quality side in that department. And I think in what we spoke about, it was a really good grind. Yeah, we didn't play our best footy in the first half, first 3 quarters, but we grinded it out and stuck with what we believed in, our structures and the way we want to play our footy. And in the end, we grinded out right to the end and got the result we wanted. Yep. Oh, we need to bring the heat early, which every showdown is like that. I mean, they're always really contested. The heat's always on, but we've continued to practice that all pre-season. We'll continue it again today in our main session, but we need to bring the heat early. We've got some big bodies in there. We need a big contest from our ruckman up against one of the best in the competition, which we'll get. And then as soon as that ball hits ground level, we need a big fight.
What's being said about
look, that's not just our defenders, that's our whole team defence. I think there was at times, our forward press and our midfield press wasn't good enough. We left too many gaps, and they just seemed to get through, and that's how they got it out over the back. So we want to be aggressive in the way we attack the game in offence and defence, but we've got to be careful not to let too many slip out the back. With Tex and Eddie Betts and Lynch and these sort of guys, it's going to be pretty dangerous. So our whole team defence has got to be on.
Turnover first back in the day.
Oh, I think, look, we actually spoke about it. We spoke about it at half time that the options were actually on. It was just a bit of skill execution, and so that could have been just round 1. The guys that probably missed a few kicks were some of our best kicks and best decision makers in the team. So look, we're sure that'll get better, and we'll continue to take the brave options.
A lot of heat on the ruck. You feel that he's fantastic reception for
Yeah, look, I think it's a bit unfair on Lobes. I think he's he's a quality leader and a quality person, and he's building his game. He's got a huge role. He's got to lead pretty much our side. I see a ruckman as sort of a quarterback for a side, and he loves that. And I've got no doubt that he'll provide a big contest for us on the weekend and for the rest of the year as well.
Is there more pressure on the Crows this week, given Port's already got a win on the board, 4-0 until the cup? Is there more pressure on you in the showdown?
Not at all. No, I don't think so. I think I find it very funny that after one game there's a lot of, like Richmond on the weekend, nearly got wrote off and not play finals and stuff like that, so we're worried about the process and how we're going to beat Port.
And do you feel like, even though you lost to Port, that you were pretty good in that game, far away?
Yeah, there's some things that we could control that will change in critical moments. So we understand we played some really good footy against North, but just not quite good enough.
What are those things you're referring to?
Well, there was things that in our control that were, obviously there was a couple of 50-metre penalties with the new rules that we're still trying to get a grasp on. But if we can fix those up, there's a few things that will help us, and the other team won't kick the goals. And in the end, we'll get the points.
So much heaps of emotion in it.
Wow, from gadgets the size of your palm, like square.
Just worry about playing footy. Simple as that.
Right accessories that will have you paying with the bigger wrist. Yes, the Cash by Optus wristband where you can top it up through an app on your phone.
We haven't sat down specifically and had a chat about it, and Lobes is a pretty strong person too. He doesn't listen to too much outside talk, but look, he loves that added pressure and you know, that whole responsibility of you know, being the only ruckman and taking control in the midfield. So and he's one that if he's struggling, he'll let us know, and he's certainly not in that space. He's ready to take on the challenge, and I think he's more excited than ever to take on one of the best ruckmen in the league in Sammy Jacobs. So we're certainly backing him in for that.
Around 20 bucks, no monthly fees, and it's really good for small businesses to have a trade. Coffee cards, just plug it in. But I don't know if you guys have new more tap cash.
Well, I think showdowns have always been like finals, and finals footy is contested footy and really tight games. And so I'm thinking it'll be along the same path, but both sides have got incredible scoring power and great midfield. So who knows? We could have a shootout, but I'm expecting a fierce contest inside as well.
Footy's pretty simple, mate. You defend or you attack. So we've done a lot of work over pre-season and NAB on our team D and on our attack. So we're fully confident that it'll hold up on Saturday.
Yeah, so we had Youngie, Carl Amon and Jimmy Tumpus as our emergencies on the weekend, and all three of them played some really good footy in the Maggies. So I'm thinking to be one of those that will probably come in and fill the sort of wing half-forward sort of role. And it's great they all played some good footy on the weekend and all had a really good NAB challenge. So we're expecting them to come in and play a great role for us.
Obviously, showdowns are very contested, so you're going to have to win the inside hunt. And we understand that we've got a really good balance inside-outside, and obviously being able to kick a winning score, but also hold the opposition to probably under 80 points. I'd like to think so, yeah.
Curiosities change every day, and I'm not even sure what's relevant to me. How do you know? Facebook bought the site for $1 billion in 2012.
The more they play together, the more they're going to grow and understand each other. So for us, if they continue to keep playing footy together, it's going to be pretty exciting for our footy club. Both clubs have agreed on going back to normal, but it was a great tribute for not only SA footy but for AFL to have the Phil Walsh medal last year, and I thought it was a great spectacle, and I think both you could probably agree with that. I will do our review, and I think that, as Bogey said, Sauce is one of the best ruckmen in the AFL, and if he can get his hands on it, then he'll give our mids first look. So that'll be one area that we look to get an advantage. Look, I think having our own team, it's starting to grow over the past 2 years, and I think that puts pressure on our senior side, and we had a lot of guys that played really consistent footy on the weekend. So that's great for our footy club, and I suppose when selection has to come up, that those guys that played well, their names will be put up.
Yeah, I think for Charlie, he did miss a bit of a chunk of pre-season too. So he's only played that probably half a footy against Richmond. So on the weekend was really his first hit out for a long time, and I think that second half you started to see just become a lot more settled. And I think what I love about Charlie is just the way he competes, and that's all we ask from him, is just come in and provide a contest and make an effort. And the results will come. He ended up with 3-3 in the end, which was a great result, but he just competed all day, and he's one of the biggest blokes I've ever seen, and it's going to be pretty hard to match up on when he's one on one in the forward 50s. So, and he does provide a lot of leadership down there, especially for Chatty and these sort of guys, and Needy. It just pulls them along. Just the way he walks tall and competes and crashes contests, just brings the other guys into the game. So, which is fantastic to see.
Last couple of guys.
Now there are just 4 months until our Aussie athletes competed around the Olympics, and this morning we have your first we're into the opening ceremony.
Yeah, look, they're going to continue to grow as a tandem, and that was really their first hit out together, and I thought they worked really well. I think having Charlie in there takes a lot of pressure off Schiltzy, takes a lot of pressure off Westy. We saw him come up the ground again and really roam free and do what he wants, and they're going to work extremely well together, and having those 3 tools in the forward line, just get it in there because they're really potent.